welcome back. I have finished the mini album with the Girls Gone Scrappy June kit items in it, and I thought I would show it to you and talk about what I did. Here I just took 2 paper flowers and I put the antique butterfly charm in the center, and this is a flourish that I covered in copper embossing powder, and then I inked all these edges with vintage photo. And then the letters I covered in black embossing powder, but then I took just a small pinch of copper and sprinkled it on top so it would have kind of a coppery black finish. And the reason there's a gem for the eye is because at some point during the embossing process I totally lost the dot for the eye and I couldn't find it anywhere. I also embossed the clock face. As you can see there, you can see it's shining, and I just took the SIG 2-way glue pen and I literally just colored over the face of the clock and then covered it in clear embossing powder. And then here's the keyhole, and this is a Cosmo Cricket mini album. I believe it's Jack is which one it is, but I'm not 100% about that, but it's one of their blackboards. And so then here's this page, and this is a tag that came in the kit that I put a Tim Holtz fastener through, and then I tied some twine into a ribbon and I just stuck that down with some glossy accents. And then this is 2 grunge board piece flowers that I covered in old copper embossing powder and layered on top of each other. And then the reason that they're kind of flipping up like this is when I put this brad through the center, I turned the feet so that they were pointing up in like a U shape instead of flat like you would normally do, and that is lifting the petals up. And so then I put this whole thing down on glossy accents, so the brad is pushing up the petals instead of just holding it to the paper. And then this pattern paper I also embossed with a damask stamp from Inkadink and clear embossing powder. And then this grunge piece has the copper embossing powder, and then I aged it with vintage photo distress ink, and there's more embossing on this pattern paper from that same stamp set. And then this tag here is from 7 Gypsies, and I put a little ribbon through there. And then this piece of paper here is actually from a Making Memories 8x8 paper pad that's designed for the slice with all their different ledger papers. It doesn't look this grungy. I actually used vintage photo to make it look older. And then I took this key and tied a ribbon through it and then just glued it down with some glossy accents. And then this page, this is a tag I made myself with the 7 Gypsies, one of the stamps, the 97% stamps. And then here's another flourish that I covered with copper embossing powder. And then this is the button, which if you watched the video from Marion, you know has a really long shank on it. So I actually did a similar thing to what she did in her album. I punched a hole through it, and then I actually tied it off with some twine on the back here. So, and then the twine is, you know, twisted around the button on the front and then twisted here and tied here. And then I have the key, which I covered in copper embossing powder, and then I also distressed it some more with vintage photo distress powder. And then here on this tag you can see, which is from My Mind's Eye, is decorated with some of the new Basic Gray half pearls. And then here on this page I used another one of those tags I made myself, and this is more grunge board, again copper embossed and then distressed with vintage photo. And this is the grunge board skull. And then I put some of the basic gray pearls in his eyes to give him a kind of a googly eye look, and I'm really happy with that, how that turned out. And then here's a grunge board heart, copper embossing powder, and then distressed with vintage photo distress ink. And then I punched a hole in it and I tied this ribbon through, and then the hole was just like a little too big afterward, and so I filled the space in the hole with one of the basic gray half pearls, and then I added some buttons. And this is another piece of that same ledger paper from before. Okay, so we're doing this page, and this is some handwriting paper that came in the kit, and some of the just torn book paper that came in the kit. And this is actually a doily from Creative Imaginations that I cut into actually a triangle piece. It's a round doily, and I cut it into like pie slices, and so that fits on there. And actually this is covering the part where it narrows, but I placed it over some, I don't know if you can see that, but some more of that Making Memories ledger paper, and then I decorated it with copper just embossed grunge flowers and more basic gray pearls, this time in blue, because there's a faint blue line in that ledger paper that I wanted to pick up. And then this is another My Mind's Eye tag, and then this is the Tim Holtz safety pin, and I tied a piece of twine around it, and then that's all just glued down with glossy accents. Alright, so this page has some more embossing. This is actually stamped with the vintage photo distress ink and then embossed. And this background paper is some old Cosmo Cricut paper that I had. And I took this file folder tab that was in the kit, and I put some book paper behind it, and I put it on this alligator finish paper that I turned into a pocket. And then this is also stamped and embossed from the same stamp set. There you can see it shining. And I added a row of buttons, and then I put 2 tags, the same as the tags I made earlier from the 7 Gypsies stamp. And this guy is decorated a little bit with some of the pearls. And this is the chipboard bird from the kit. Just has some copper embossing and some vintage photo distressing. And then another tag from My Mind's Eye with a copper brad. And then there's some scenic route grid paper in there for extra journaling. And then on the back, I have this is actually from the Creative Imaginations doily paper. This is part of it that I don't need, because I was just using the edge. So I just put that down. It has kind of a craft look. And this is a Daisy D's tag, an old one, and I just decorated with some pearls. So there's my distressed little book, my time album, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.